Oh, why does it say stop there? Okay, before you watch this video, make sure you have attempted all of the chip practice problems. I have all the answers, and there's no waiting. So I want to be sure you've looked at all the answers. So don't keep watching if you haven't practiced. Pause right now and work through the problems. Don't jump straight to the answers. Answers will confuse you unless you've tried first. Okay? You tried? You're pausing if you haven't? Right? Right? Okay, here we go. So the first one, I went ahead and used the definition of derivative. So I gave you this clue in our last video. And so I've plugged everything in and done a lot of arithmetic here. So you'll see that I've taken x plus h and expanded it as x squared plus 2x plus 8, 2xh plus x squared. Distributed the minus sign through the second set of parentheses. Then I've distributed the 4 through the first set of parentheses and found things that can make 0. So these two make 0 and those two make 0. And so now I'm here. I factor x out of my problem and I'm there. Excuse me for grabbing that. X out of my h out of my problem here, and so I'm here. And right then I did direct substitution. This becomes 0, and I'm left with x plus h. So that is the definition of the derivative, and I really should have in my final answer written equals f prime of x. Excuse me for not including that. And it represents the slope of the curve at each point. And so if I wanted to know the slope of the curve at 12, I could plug in 12 and find the answer. And the practice that we were doing before, where we were plugging in the numbers as we started yesterday, knowing how to do that will save you time in the long run. I always forget that one and end up doing it this way and then plugging in. This is the longer way. So this is my shortcut. I'm clearly plugging in E. See how there's no X? So I'm plugging in E. So the only two choices are A and B because I'm plugging in E. But I don't have divided by E anywhere, so it's not this one, and so that is why it is A. And so because it can't be any of the rest of these, I plugged in E. And I know you're thinking, well, why does I have 1? Well, this would be the natural log of E. And what is the natural log of E? It is 1. And so that's why it's A. And the ability to recognize this really quickly in a situation is important. That shows up all over the AP exam. Like, they'll have you this, and they'll be like, and the answers, of course, will be the derivative of ln of x, which you don't know yet. But that idea that you can recognize, oh, they're just taking a derivative, will save you so much time. So much time. So that's what that one is. And then you have scribbles here. We've got a line that's tangent and passes through this point. What is the derivative at 2? So at first I've just found the slope of the line. So the change in y is 8 and it went down. And the change in x is 5 and it's 7 and it went up. And so then I set up my equation of my tangent line and then I went, wait a second. I read the problem. What is the derivative at -2? Well, that's just the slope. And so the answer is -8. So I didn't read that one carefully, which is why I have more work than I needed to have. So tangent, as I mentioned, is just the regular thing. And so I used if it were me and I was doing this, I would have gone to the person who had 4 as their number and said, hey, what'd you get for your answer? Or you can do the limit notation to find the answer is 48. And so the slope is at 48. And then I have my point slope form. So 4, 64, which I found from plugging 4 into the original equation. So that's my tangent line, which is y equals 48, x minus 4 plus 64. My normal line is y equals -1 over 48, so it can be perpendicular, and then x minus 4 plus 64. Number 5, the graph shown below consists of 4 line segments. Draw f prime of x on the coordinate grid. I just need to know each slope of each line segment. So the slope of the first one is 1/2. So I have a line drawn here at 1/2 for the first 4 units. Then for 1 unit, I have a slope of 4. So down here I have my slope of -4. I drew it right. I wrote it wrong. Slope of -4. Here I have a slope of 0 for 3 units. So slope of 0 for 3 units. And here I have a slope of +2 for 2 units. And so that is my picture of my graph. And so that's pretty straightforward. I hope it was okay. The tangent and normal lines, those ones are a little tricky. And I hope you have a great day. There is homework on WebAssign. I will send a separate email about a notice about that homework. So I will see you on Wednesday. Have a great day.